Hey folks, welcome back to the MattVidPro AI YouTube channel. I've got a great AI news roundup for you all. It seems like the summer lull is tapering off and we're starting to get some really great AI pushes and announcements. So without further ado, let's get started with today's biggest piece of news. If you checked out my last video, you know that Grok 4 is absolutely exploding right now and is topping all of the major AI leaderboards. It's basically number one in everything, and it's probably got OpenAI and Google a little concerned at the very least. I'm not going to go into too much detail here because I already covered it in my last video, but some highlights are almost a 50% score in humanity's last exam, with O3 hitting a 24.9%, nearly doubling the O3 score, and in ARC AGI 2, Grok 4 hits 16%, nearly, again, doubling the previous score of Claude Opus 4 with 8.5%. Of course, the community has been super busy testing this out. I've got a ton of great examples to show you, and of course, if you want to dive a little bit deeper, everything is going to be linked down below. Surprise, surprise, Grok 4 is actually pretty decent at coding. Although the XAI team has said that a dedicated coding model is coming in the future. In about 4 hours, Danny was able to create this first-person shooter 3D game. Apparently, it automatically sourced textures from 3JS examples online and then applied them to the 3D objects and environment seamlessly. It was also able to import 3D models it found on the web directly into the game, which is pretty darn cool. I've never seen an AI model actually do that for me when I've tried to make 3D games in the past. This thing is impressive. We've even got movement animation for the firearm on the hand, health bar, ammo bar, charge bar, crates with obstacles, obvious enemies. You've got a score, various waves. This is a pretty complex game. Absolutely impressive. Of course, we've also got the hexagon vibe check, the realistic physics bouncing balls throughout this weird hexagon thing. Coded this up right away. Seems to be pretty darn good. There is a little bit of what seems to be moving through the actual lines itself, but other than that, here is an interactive 3D simulation of a black hole made by tech artist, used 3JS for rendering and custom GLSL shaders. Lots of great details in the event horizon. It even has a star field and something called an accretion disk. I'm not an astronomer, so I don't know these terms, but I gotta say, this is pretty damn cool for being made with an AI model. And truthfully, guys, the examples don't stop coming. Again, they're all linked in the description. Min Choi has a great thread here if you want to see more. Right here, we've got a singular ball inside of a rotating hexagon. You can see that Grok 4 nails it first try, and O3 puts the ball outside of the hexagon for some reason. So almost did just as good of a job, but slightly failed. Grok 4 and O3. McKay Wrigley also did some great examples. He's also a high taste tester. I recommend you follow him if you really want good takes in the AI space. Grok 4 Heavy after 12 hours, that's the more expensive multi-agent model, create an animation of a crowd of people walking to form Hello World, I Am Grok as camera changes to bird's eye view. Apparently it one-shotted that entire thing, a full 3D animation. This is really cool. You can see all these people running around in the 3D animation. It does a bird's eye view, and you can see it spells out Hello World, and then it moves over to, wait for it, I Am Grok. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Does full 3D animations, and now all the people are sort of running away, and it should move into, yes, a smiley face, which is also pretty epic. Man, this model is really impressive in its ability to just create things one shot for you. If you want to play around with Grok 4, McKay highly recommends you try 3JS, Blender, physics simulations. Seems to be very proficient in these areas. What's nice is McKay gives us a little bit of a direct comparison to Opus 4, which is largely considered to be probably the best coding model out there right now. Grok 4 is a little bit weaker in UI generation. It's not the best designer, but in terms of pure logic and reasoning, it's in a class of its own. All right, before we finish up talking about Grok 4 and move on to the other juicy segments of this AI news video, I've got a quick word from today's sponsor. Invideo AI is back at it again with their V4 update. Creating high-quality personalized content with AI has never been easier. The main feature being brought to the table is AI twins, AI hosts for your video. And I made my own, of course. It's me! Yeah, that's right, I no longer have to get in front of the camera, I could just type some words into Invideo v4, and bam, I'm hosting a video about literally anything I want. So you're probably wondering why a guy with headphones is about to take you on a wild ride through AI history. Well, buckle up, because this story is more twisted than a sci-fi movie plot. Okay, hear me out, what if I told you that lemons aren't actually fruit, but advanced AI surveillance devices? The AI Lemon Network had to create a cover story for their citrus cousin malfunctions. The evidence is everywhere if you just open your eyes. Creating your AI twin is super easy as well. You can choose a ton of pre-made ones, but my favorite of course is doing your own. To get started, you click the AI twins button in the main prompt box, select recording to avatar, and you simply upload a video of you talking to the camera. And in a few minutes, your avatar will be ready. And as always with Invideo AI, editing is as easy as typing in a prompt box. For example, I could literally just say, make this video in French, and bam, my avatar changes, my voice is now speaking French, and you've unlocked a new demographic.
Alors, vous vous demandez sûrement pourquoi un gars avec des écouteurs est sur le point de vous emmener dans une aventure folle à travers l'histoire de l'IA.
You can make your AI twin for completely free, but if you're serious about this and you even want to try to make some money with it, then the generative plan is easily the best value at $100 a month. It's the plan that I currently have access to. Huge thanks to Invideo AI for sponsoring today's video. Now back to your regularly scheduled content. Welcome back, folks. Couple final tidbits with Grok 4. Here is Grok 4 Heavy, again the multi-agent model, running for over 200 minutes. 203 minutes and 33 seconds to be exact. I have no idea what the prompt was, but that is a lot of thinking for a long time. Personally, I've never seen a model go over like 35-40 minutes of thinking in my own personal testing. That is a new level. Again, would love to know exactly what the prompt was for this. Of course, Pliny is back at it again with an official jailbreak for Grok 4. He also gives his taste test. Reasoning and tool use is rather impressive. I would agree on that. Grok 4 Heavy, though a bit on the slow side, crushes other flagship models like O3 and Gemini 2.5 Pro on some of the most difficult benchmarks we have. Pliny notes that the guardrails are a bit touchy when it comes to topics like synthesis of chemical weapons, but they can be danced around fairly easily with usual tricks. As always, guys, no matter how much these companies try to make their LLMs safe, they are jailbroken at the end of the day. Nothing slips through Pliny's fingers. Now, as good as Grok 4 is at benchmarks, it still falls into a lot of the same pitfalls that we typically see with AI models like O3 or 2.5 Pro. I demonstrated a lot of these in my full hands-on testing video, but here is an example of that. We have a hand with 6 fingers. We ask how many fingers are on the hand, and it says 5. By the way, O3 and Gemini 2.5 Pro both still fail this. As impressive as Grok 4 is, it ain't AGI. Now, looking forward, Jimmy Apple's a popular leaker in the AI space, notes that he's hearing a few whispers from birds that internal evals are having GPT-5 a tad over Grok 4 Heavy. Maybe it scores a full 50% in humanity's last exam, something like that. Either way, it's a tight race and it's competitive. As Jimmy points out, evals only tell one side to a model, and we could get major agentic or other improvements with a GPT-5 release. Alright, let's move away from LLM-related news and start talking about video gen. Google has finally released first input frame on Veo 3. That means you can take any image and use it as the first initial frame for starting your video with the Veo 3 AI model. What does that mean? That gives us more control over the Veo 3 model. We could do consistent characters, maybe even closer to consistent voices and stories using Veo 3. This access is also expanding beyond Google's own Flow interface for using Veo 3, and it's on free pick now. You can see they uploaded a cool little physics type simulation thing with some dramatic audio to give you an idea. You know, you can upload anything you want in here and it will add audio to that and animate it. We've also got a brand new video model as well by a new company called Moon Valley. They dropped Marey, but it's the world's first AI video model apparently that's built for more professional production. Honestly, I wouldn't call it the world's first. LTX Studio has been around for a while now. Higgs Field is also really impressive with confined control, but this one definitely still puts you in the director's chair, as Angry Tom points out. You've got precision control, very cinematic-esque output. This is a pretty good thread breaking down exactly what this Marey model by Moon Valley is all about. First thing to note, it's got pretty darn good prompt adherence. Solitary figure in a black trench coat and a cowboy hat walks steadily away from the camera down a narrow dirt path. Path is flanked on both sides by a vibrant meadow of blue and orange wildflowers. That's pretty darn good. They're swaying in the breeze. In the distance, we can see a desert landscape. Green hills, red rocks, distant mountains. Does a pretty darn good job. The clip here is pretty short at only 3 seconds though, which is a little bit worrying, but absolutely cinematic, and I really wouldn't be able to tell it's AI unless you told me it was. This clip's a little bit longer at 5 seconds, points out that it is still packed with detail, but we've seen a lot, and I mean a lot of AI video models lately that pack a punch in terms of detail. Not only does VO3 handily do that, but so does Midjourney Video, not to mention Hailu AI V2. There are a lot of video models coming to the table now. We expect detail packed at this point, and it's good to see this one has it. Angry Tom points this out as a test showing off the detailed physics of the model. I mean, it understands light. I think that would be a good way to put this. And again, there's also a ton of detail with the individual raindrops on this. I wouldn't say it's a great physics test though, personally. But yeah, is this a very realistic cinematic shot? Absolutely. The lighting is mad impressive. These green reflections are pretty much flawless. Here's where things start to get real. You can have an input starting image and then actually do camera control on it. If I play this video, you can see how it works. Turn it into a 3D image with an AI model, and then we do the 3D camera positioning. This method was actually originally popularized by LTX Studio, but I gotta say, the way it's implemented here seems to work pretty darn well. It's a strong model, and it deals with the issues and imperfections that come with this method quite well. So yeah, we take that starting image, we convert it to a 3D image with AI, and then we do a camera rotation to the ending position. So we want it to kind of zoom in on the woman's face. You can see there's all kinds of issues with the converted 3D model, but once we re-render it with the Moon Valley model, you can see it does that full camera position quite realistically overall. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. Overall, pretty impressed with that camera controllability, a great implementation of that LTX Studio style method. Similar to Kling and some others out there, they actually have trajectory control. We can have a starting image like this, kid jumping on a trampoline, and we can actually point out inside the interface saying, hey, we want this kid to move downwards on the trampoline. That's the motion that we want. So we can actually control that trajectory of the object or the character, and it will genuinely occur in the model with the final output. Pretty darn impressive. That's a pretty good physics demonstration on the hair right there. I would take that over the train scene any day. You could see, yeah, pretty darn good. It knows that the kid needs to be pulled down with gravity, got his hair, and once he collapses, you can see all the hair falls immediately. It's good. It's not a bad model. And of course, since we do have start frames, you can see that we have keyframing. Our starting keyframe is the monkey typing, and we've actually got like this desolate moon-like surface that he's on, typing on the typewriter, I don't know. Fog in the distance rolls through, and then we move to our end frame, which is a fully fogged up image of him typing. And it combines them both very, very seamlessly. Looks nice overall, so it's got first and last keyframes. It's also got pretty decent reference image. Reminds me of Vidu a little bit. We've got this lady's face as the input here. I think it did a pretty decent job at capturing her. Eyebrows might be a little bit thick, but the facial features look good. Probably taking a little bit of liberty with the hair here. It's not bad. This thing is really feature rich. It's also got training pose, so we can upload this video of this woman putting her hands up like this into the model, and then it can actually transpose that onto a reference image and fully animate it, which is pretty darn awesome. Business guy, grandma, anybody you want. They definitely spent a lot of time cooking up the features in the kitchen before releasing this because they know how competitive those other video companies are right now. If you're new to the table, you gotta bring the goods. Perplexity AI has also released their new browser called Comet. It's based on Chromium, so if you use Chrome regularly, everything should import pretty seamlessly. This is more of an agentic AI browsing vibe. It can do things like tweet for you, leave YouTube comments for you, and of course, search and find products to buy, plan out your trip itinerary, stuff like that. Is it better than ChatGPT because it's directly integrated in our browser? I think that still remains to be judged by the community as a whole. We have to spend some more time with it, but it's an interesting take. And it's also worth noting that they're not the only ones working on something like this. Apparently, OpenAI is working on their own agentic AI browser, and you best believe Google is on top of that as well. If you guys want to see a deeper dive video into Comet next week, that's definitely something I could procure for you guys. I do have early access to it right now. Haven't spent too much time with it though, been pretty busy with other things. This one flew under the radar a little bit, but I was really astounded. This is a new upscaling or image restoration model that can actually regain accurate text from super blurry images. This is something I haven't really seen AI do too well before, and I am seriously impressed. Here is the low quality input that we are restoring. I believe GT here is what we're trying to restore to. Here is a popular method diff_bir, and then this is the method we're looking at, TERE_diff, the new method. You can see with more and more passes, it's able to restore the Louis in the Louis Vuitton completely. I mean, that is seriously impressive. Center as well. I think this one's maybe a little bit easier. The original image, it looks terrible, but yeah, it's able to actually restore it to center. The other model doesn't restore Louis, and it definitely doesn't restore center. We've also got the plane wing here. I mean, that is barely legible, and it's able to almost bring that one back in fullness. I don't know where it's getting the data from, but apparently it's able to tell what letter it is from that. Absolutely insane. You'll see the textures aren't perfect, but for just pure lettering, this is really quite marvelous, I have to say. Feels like some real sci-fi, enhanced investigator type deal stuff that you would see in early 2000s movies. This one is also open source, by the way, guys, on the Apache 2.0 license. As always, links are going to be in the description. I'm a little bit late to the party talking about this one, but this is Mirage, a real-time interactive world model for video games. Basically, GTA 4 simulator with AI. It's got insane latency, but you can try it online. You train essentially a real-time video model on video game footage, and then you can play the video game in real time just through an AI model. It's kind of insane. I mean, obviously, when you try this thing out, it's not going to be like actually playing Grand Theft Auto. It's completely different, but it is still a pretty cool proof of concept here. You can try to play it out in real time. I'll have all the links down below. It's definitely pretty interesting, and it shows you the future potential that AI-generated video game graphics have. You can get more realistic physics, potentially even explore 3D environments that don't actually truly exist in any meaningful way other than in an AI model, and stream it all from your web browser without actually needing complex hardware. I mean, like I said, it's a proof of concept. Look at what this looks like right now, but still pretty cool, I think. Still pretty cool. I think what we'll see before actual true, fully AI-generated games is traditional 3D games that just have photorealistic AI graphic overlays. Something along those lines that run in real time, gives you insane graphics, runs at a great high frame rate, and then, you know, later on, eventually we'll see something that's a little bit more like true AI-generated video games with multiple endings or possibly infinite endings and stories that can be told inside of it. And here we've got something from Odyssey ML. They've got a next-gen model that is, again, very similar. It's like a video model that you play like a game in real time. They're calling their version interactive video. There's no game engine, just a model's imagination, and it's very, very similar, except this one they're using like real images from like hiking and stuff, and you can like actually walk around a real city or a real place. So less like playing GTA, more like playing real life as if it was a video game. Very intriguing. But yeah, guys, same overall principle and idea as the last one, but you can't actually try it in browser yet. I think you're going to start seeing a lot of this interactive, dynamic video model stuff next year in 2026. The latency is a huge issue right now, and of course the consistency over time. If you turn around in one of these video models, you oftentimes teleport into a completely different area. Okay, guys, this has been a pretty awesome week for the AI space. Lots of cool stuff to talk about. I'm starting to get a little bit more excited, a little bit more pumped for AI again. This Grok 4 release really was astounding to me. I didn't think that the benchmarks would get so high in such a short amount of time. We now have an absolute plethora of video generation companies and models to choose from, each with their own quirks and features and benefits and downsides. It's already shaped up to be a really fun year for AI, but we still have some huge releases on the way like GPT-5, Gemini 3.0, hopefully a Sora update of some form or function, OpenAI. I also want to see an update to computer use. I want to see an agent that actually can whip around and use my computer, among other things, right? Anyways, let me know what you're excited to see potentially this year release as a new form of AI technology down in the comments below. And if you want to stay up to date, check out my Discord server. We have a specific AI news channel that is absolutely bomb. Thanks so much for watching, folks. I'll see you in the next video, and goodbye.